Welcome to part 22 of Borderlands 2. I'm Solon, and this is Rainy Day Let's Play. We're going to actually do this, and we're going to do it right this time. Because screw doing it wrong. That's why I decided. We got enough practice at it. I think we can handle this. Last time, I had introduced the Bechdel Test, and had barely even started talking about how it works with games. And because it was a short episode, I kind of got cut off. So that's where we'll be going with this episode. And meanwhile, we'll be doing as much overlook, fetch quest crap as we can. And this should be a quick one because it's a timed quest. It's a timed test. It's on a Scantron. And there should be no problem completing it now that I don't suck at it anymore. So, as I said in the last episode, the Bechdel test is that it has to have at least 2 named women in it who talk to each other about something besides a man. Those 3 things. With video games, it is very much more complicated, and you can deconstruct in a lot of different ways, especially because of how flexible characters are in video games. You can do a lot of different things with them that can have absolutely nothing to do with gender, if you want. You can make rabbits and have the entire game be about rabbits, kind of like a cartoon. And I know they have people who analyze this for comic books and other things. There's Tumblrs. In my research, I found Tumblrs that talk about specifically games. They're not as updated as I want them to be, and so they weren't super useful, but they do exist, and they were really helpful. So probably the first things that those sites looked at were Mass Effect and Half-Life and Half-Life 2, because those are just super easy. There's a lot of it that's like all about keeping the spirit of the Bechdel test, where they're women or they're women-like or something, and then once you get into that world, it's like, whoa, we're getting into shady ground of sexism and feminism and a whole bunch of places that make it a lot more complicated than it already is. So they put it in a bunch of different specters where there are ways you can pseudo pass the test in a range of options. You can have it where the game passes the Bechdel test, but only because the person can pick their character gender, or you pass the test because there's a point in the game where 2 female characters talk to each other, but it's not on the main storyline, and it's something that can be completely avoided in a playthrough. So these are all things that totally complicate this. Oh crap, there's a quest marker there. I would hate to miss that later. I have to come all the way back here and make sure it wasn't screwed up. Bless you, turret, for just making everything easy for me. There's an article about white privilege being easy mode, which is totally awesome and true. And that's what I see with Saxton, is exactly that. The turret and everything, it just is, yeah. Anyways, we have 45 seconds to get across this entire map. So we're just gonna jump it. Screw you, rocks. I'm a car. Cutting it a lot closer than I would like. Such is the way. Wow, this thing drives like a brick. A brick tied to potatoes. Which, if you've ever driven a brick tied to potatoes, not easy. Okay, I think we're just gonna barely make it, which is good enough for me. Mass Effect explores all of the complications that happen with the Bechdel test, between the Ansari being a monogendered race that is coded as women but can be argued in different ways, but for most intents and purposes it's considered a woman. And female shepherd can mate with them, male shepherd can mate with them, and so you have that different choice. And then all of the characters talk to each other in a lot of different ways. And it's very, very similar to the same kinds of things we're going to see in Borderlands 2. So it's even harder to say whether things pass the Bechdel test or not. And I think there's a point to where you say, fuck, like, passing or failing the Bechdel test. Let's just explore what this means.
In a fit of extreme paranoia, I hid my notes on the opening of the vault and promptly forgot their locations. While I grind my teeth to dust in frustration, you will retrieve these journals for me.
So when it comes to Borderlands 2, on the upside, there are hella women in it everywhere, which is fantastic. You have Ellie and Tannis and Moxie and Lilith, the Overlook chick who we've been dealing with this whole quest line. Gosh, I feel like I'm forgetting a few, but it's a very we definitely pass the first test in flying colors, and it makes for a lot of great, well-rounded narrative. And I'm pretty sure, to an extent, they talk to each other in canon. Oh, Angel! That's who I'm forgetting, because Angel and Lilith hella talk to each other all the time.
I am going to die.
About, you know, life and death and all of that stuff. So, easily passes anything that we could throw at it.
A young woman said hello to me today. I stared back at her, my mind screeching as I looked
Wow,
for a
this
way to
has
escape
gone
this
poorly.
unwanted interaction.
Bless you,
As my
Gunloader, for
face
just
grew
sitting
red with
there,
nauseous
waiting
stress.
for me to
A
murder
blood
you.
vessel popped in my nose and a jet of
I
crimson
need your
shot
life
out of my
so I can
nostrils,
have my
splattering us
own.
both with blood.
Thank
She
you.
screamed and ran away. As pleased as I was at the time, I fear causing fountains of blood to shoot from my face will not be a viable long-term strategy for avoiding conversation.
Alright, yeah, Tannis has some social anxieties. Not so sure about this quest and how I feel about it. As funny as it is to exploit, like, the anxieties that people have, having Tannis in this situation as a research biologist gone baddie, I don't like how it's necessarily gendered or how it's put. Anyway, let's drive off of this. I think it's the next... Oh, nope, the next echo is up there. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen the moment I jumped off the bridge. That's okay. If I had jumped off without the car, this would take a lot longer. Oh, they're a little rooted in. I can't just run over threshers. Alright, how the hell do I get out of here? Nope, gotta go the other way. This is not the right direction. There's a part of me that's just like, haha, video games are just better at representing gender than movies are, because we've got Borderlands makes it just look so easy to pass any kind of Bechdel test like it is. And so, suck it. Movies, which is always awesome to say, because movies should always suck it to video games, because we're the best. What are we gonna say? I don't even know. No, but really. Yeah, I mean, the other parts that we can look at with Borderlands 2 and gender representation is that the player gets to pick their gender in 2 ways, or in 1.5 ways.
What does Jack want with the vault key? Was the key simply charging the entire time I possessed it before Jack crowbarred it from my bloody hands? Was it waiting to unleash its alien powers on Pandora to make Iridium appear from the very ground? Was it preparing itself to unlock even more alien ruins? I will delve deeper into this question after
It's nice of them, nice of Gearbox to kind of like repeat the storylines through these different echoes. It's kind of nice to get that redundancy. Okay, what are these last two? Oh boy, wow, yeah, these are... Damn it. These are not going to be easy to get to. They just scattered these all over the place. Just, Tannis, keep your echoes in like a little folder or a little basket or box. You can go to any storage solution store and buy something to put your echoes in, and you won't lose them. Promise you. That goes to everyone else on Pandora. Just a little box. Maybe Doll makes boxes. The Doll Corporation. I don't know. They make big dumpsters, so sure. Sorry, I'm on my own thing. Actually, I have it planned that in the next few episodes, I have a big master list of all of the corporations in Borderlands 2. Woohoo! That was kind of cool looking. Got a big master list of all the corporations, and I can talk about them in detail, which I'm excited about.
Warrior. The legends tell of a magical key that can bring it back to life. If my hypotheses are correct, which they always are, the legends may be speaking of the vault key. Also, a young man told me I was pretty on my way back from the grocer's. The reaction was surprisingly tame. I only spent the next 3 hours dry heaving into a bucket.
Aw. Good work, Tannis. I'm proud of you. You're doing well. Oh god, this is gonna be like on top of that tower in a terrible place, and ew. I'm just gonna run through this whole compound best I can. Don't look at anyone in the eye, just keep on walking. Nobody has to get hurt. Get my little pink teapot gun. We're just gonna roll on through. Nope, doesn't. Bullets, don't really care, just running. Anyways, I was talking and I said that there was like 1.5 women you can play as in the game. You can play as the Siren character, Maya, and you can play, the DLC has the Necromancer, whose name I don't know, but you can also play as them, and there might be more DLC that involves more women, which would be cool. I have no idea. But one of the things is that unlike movies, which have sequels, which are standalone movies on their own, you can have downloadable content for games or patches that completely change dynamics between characters, or just affect the representation involved in the game and to what level individuals represent themselves. And so this isn't usually like a big deal. You patch a game, you add DLC, and it doesn't really change much, but there's a lot to where the DLC of the first Borderlands had significant effect on both who was involved in the plot and brought out some new characters that we had never met before, Moxie being one of them, and it also brought out just a quality of story. How the hell do I get in this? There's nothing around here. What? Something's got to be like plugged into this somewhere. I gotta see like a cable running some. There. Ah, there we go. Knew it. Classic Splinter Cell. This stuff. Shoot out the lights and
I had a
bounce.
conversation with another human being. Granted, it was only a conversation in as much as my grunts of social terror could be taken as human speech, but Roland did not seem to mind. He asked me why Jack hasn't revived the warrior yet if he has the key. I conveyed that the key needed to be charged by iridium, hence Jack's mining operations. He nodded and silently wiped the streams of my saliva from his face. I returned home, confused not only at his lack of disgust toward my behavior, but my lack of disgust toward him. For the first time, I felt as if I could actually live in Sanctuary. For the first time, I feel as if I might be okay.
Oh, poor Exploder. Oh, you jumped on the wrong car. Aw, anyways, Tannis is just the most adorable and seems to have been well affected by our good friend the soldier. And that's super adorbs. Super adorbs. Although she's still not talking to another woman, and that's what matters. That's the only thing that matters. It doesn't. I said in the last episode that it does not make any quality difference one way or another. It's solely just for representational purposes, and that's it. Anyways, done with that quest. And I don't think I'm missing anything else with video games being applied to the Bechdel test and how that makes things crazier. But, yeah.
You find the chapters of this book, and I'll plagiarize the
let's
living
go see Sir
daylights out of
Hammerlock's
mine.
boyfriend.
Win-win, as they say. Nobody says that. I say it.
Nobody says that, Sir Hammerlock. Nobody. You say it. What does that make you? Nobody. Cool. We've already murdered plenty of stalkers. Had no problem doing that. But might as well come back here where we found those first 2 chapters. Make a mess out of things. Oh, that one doesn't explode. But these do. There we go. Already, there's one. Perfect. Yoink.
Chapter 3. My boys found out the stalkers don't cloak so well once their shields are down. They get all panicky, start roaring to power up their friends. It's cute. I saw a huge stalker staring at our camp the other day. I had decided to name her Henry, you know, after... Oh, hold on a second. Hey, Bob! No, I was just saying I named a stalker after you.
That's cool. We kind of get some background on the physiology of the stalkers.
Fine. Henry and her stalker friends took out my team and stole the special Mother's Day present that I had made. Hell with it. I'm heading out there and I'm getting my damn Mother's Day present back. Jack is my witness. This will be the best Mother's Day ever. You hear me, Henry? You hear that? Mother's Day!
Henry, how rude. Hopefully we'll get to fight him later. I know he shows up. This is probably one of the only places that I've actually seen before. But I don't remember how you get to them. Or in what context it was in. Just know that there's a Henry out there. Alright, one more. Nope! Nothing in there. Dang it. I was hoping we could just get by on one single grotto of stalkers. Luckily, there's a whole bunch around here. So we'll have no trouble finding others. It just involves driving. Car, why can't you just come to me? Why always have to go to you? Oh, pink automobile. You drive like ass. If asses could drive, that's what you would be like. An ass with rockets on the back. Which I would believe would be harder to drive than an ass without rockets on the back. Just on the nature of rockets. Oh, there's a little dot. Maybe that'll be the winner. Hello, coming through. Just a big car. Poor guys, even when they're invisible, I run them over. There you go. Bow down. Wow, there's actually some kind of neat stuff that pops out of these guys. Along with it being cool that they cloak and throw daggers out of their butts or whatever they do. Whoa! We get little snowballs? That's cool. Come on, man. Calm down. That is cool looking, though. And it's totally true. When you damage their shields, which apparently they just organically have shields, it is easier to see them. Also, acid does not seem to be their friend. Like most things. Get out of that turret. Saxton, what are you doing? So, that entire area just had nothing in it. We'll have to head on to the next one. I'm not sure if there's actually a way up here. It's kind of frustrating when you're like, I think I can jump this, but turns out it's designed to have you drive all the way around. And it's like, well, I really don't want to. Oh well. Sacrifices I make. There we go. There's a little, that looks like a car-sized entrance, hopefully. Sweet. Now we're in the big place. This place absolutely must have something for me, including a chest. Cool. Come on, one of these little boxes has gotta have... Nope. Worth ramming it. There we go. Got it.
Chapter 3. Henry ate my hands. Swear to Jack.
Ooh, things have not gone well for Taggart.
Don't know what to do. No, get away! Henry! No, Henry! Stop! Mommy! Mommy!
Oh dear. I wonder what Hammerlock thinks about that. That is quite a bummer. Oh, time for new shield time. Sorry, old shield, but your robot voice had to go eventually. Now that we've outleveled you. Hope that shield doesn't feel bad about that. Can shields feel pain? I guess the robot quite clearly showed that they felt pain. Alright, how do you get up here? I can't even turn the quest in. I have no idea where I'm going. Yeah, we'll just jump it. This looks like something to jump off of. Sweet. Hammerlock's mailbox.
A note to all Hyperion custodial bots.
Beaten, was he?
Please shut down the grinder.
Suppose there's a lesson to be learned in all of this. He who attempts to fight nature will get...
Damn, Hammy, you are hardcore.
Sounded much more poignant in my head. Apologies.
You just have no remorse for your boyfriend. Alright, what do we got left? Looks like we'll probably head to the dust next. We've cleared all the missions here. Sweet! On to the next one. Anyways, thanks for watching, and thanks for hanging out with us for this section of Borderlands 2. Make sure to ask any questions. I'm free to answer them, and make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.